Good morning. We are on Flathead Lake in northwest Montana. We're going to paddle over to Cromwell Island, along Cromwell Island, and then over to Wild Horse Island over there. Wild Horse Island is on the west shore of Flathead Lake over by Dayton, Montana. And we're going to paddle our kayaks from Dayton over past Cromwell Island and into Skeeko Bay on Wild Horse Island, where you can dock your kayaks. Then we're going to go ahead and hike over to the Johnson homestead, up to the overlook, around to Eagle Cove, and back to Skeeko Bay. That hike is going to be, we're guessing, about 4 miles, kind of depending on how high we head up to the overlook. So the story goes that the native folks, Salish and Kootenai tribes, used to put their horses out on Wild Horse Island to keep them away from their enemies, and there are still wild horses out there today. And Flathead Lake is the largest freshwater lake west of the Mississippi, and Wild Horse Island is the largest island on that lake. We made it to Cromwell Island. This is private property, so we just stay out and keep paddling over towards the state park, which is Wild Horse. You can see the Mission Mountains in the background across Flathead Lake. We've reached the end of Cromwell Island, and what you're looking at now is Wild Horse Island. Looking back at Cromwell Island, it's a nice pad on top of the hill. This is looking north on Flathead Lake. Way distance you see the Swan Range that then turns into the Mission Range right down in here. And we're approaching Wild Horse Island. We're going to try to get into Skeeko Bay, where we can dock the kayaks and go for a little hike on the island. So we are entering what is called Skeeko Bay, where we can go dock the kayaks and go for a hike. This is the landing at Skeeko Bay. So this is Flathead Lake and Skeeko Bay right behind us. It was from the mainland about a 2.5 mile paddle on our GPS. We went over to Cromwell Island, just skirted the island, and then came over to Wild Horse. We're going to do a little hike here on Wild Horse Island. We're going to show you the map in a second. But it's kind of a cool place to be, and I think we're the first ones here, so kind of a cool thing in Flathead Lake State Park. So Skeeko Bay, they have a nice section here that gives you some really good information about the hiking on the park. So we kayaked from the mainland along Cromwell Island across here to Skeeko Bay, and they have a nice little trail section that goes all around in here, and that's what we're going to try to do today. So I believe this is the old Johnson homestead on the island, and we can finally start to see the other side of the island, Flathead Lake down here. I don't know, maybe that rocks, because I saw they couldn't parallel.
Yeah, they do. It's like an accent and right. Maybe they're both on.
It's the overlook we're headed to. Well, that's cool. So the overlook trail took us up here. We came back down and now we're headed this way to, again, Eagle Cove. This is Eagle Cove, looking north across Flathead Lake. The trail from Eagle Cove back to Skeeko Bay, which again goes right along the lakeshore, is only about 0.8 miles, so it's less than a mile. Back to the kayaks, and then we have a 2.5 mile paddle. Hopefully the lake has stayed relatively calm. Back at Skeeko Bay, kayaks survived. Once we load up, we've got 2.5 miles that way. So we just checked the GPS. We just did the loop on Wild Horse Island. We did a little extra because we went up to the overlook, and our GPS said it was about 4 miles, 4.1 miles hike, which is a great loop. Total different ecosystem. A lot of Ponderosa pine, which is really cool on this island. A lot of bighorn sheep, a lot of deer. Didn't get a chance to see the horses, but we have about a 2.5 mile paddle ahead of us here back to the mainland. And what a great hike. What do you think?
Yeah, that was fun. It was a very good day.
Yes, it was. Leaving Wild Horse Island out of Skeeko Bay, gonna try to make it over to Cromwell Island and then over to the mainland. So we put in over here in Dayton and paddled over to Cromwell Island, along Cromwell Island, over to Wild Horse Island, over to Skeeko Bay. We put in over there and then hiked up almost to the top of Wild Horse Island, which had some fantastic views today. And then we came down, paddled back. We had about a 4 mile hike and about 5 miles worth of paddling on the kayaks, but great day for it on Flathead Lake.